I have updated episode 1. I hope you like it. Do you like comic books? I love comic books, but as I got older, I've developed a taste for the darker, bloodier, sexier stories and characters, but I just couldn't find the right publications to satisfy my cravings. So, I decided to make my own. If you're interested in original, strange, and mysterious comic books in story or narrative format, I welcome you to Del Carmen's Darker Comic Book. I'm your host and narrator, Dale Carmen. If you enjoy my video, press the like and subscribe button, and good fortune will fall upon you. Well, let's start with our first series, The Devil and the Angel. Just the title alone is already dark and sexy. It's a story about two sisters with mysterious powers and dark secrets. But before we begin, just a little warning. Darker Comic Stories is intended for a mature audience. My stories may contain scenes of self harm, graphic violence, and sexual reference and suggestions. Viewer discretion is advised. You okay with that? Let's begin. Angela woke up, did not even bother to wait for her alarm clock. First thing she does is to wear her glasses, and then she sat in bed, swept some of her hair off her face. She has a very Asian look. She took a shower, carefully shampooing her straight black hair to prevent tangles. She dried and wrapped herself in a towel, maintaining her modesty. Wiped some of that humidity off the mirror. Looks at herself. She was not bad looking. Her round face with an accent of almond brown eyes and small cherry lips. She was actually admiring herself. Then a voice came out, made her look at the side of the mirror. A naked, voluptuous woman was next to her. You kept looking like that, you might get yourself a boyfriend. It was followed by a sexy giggle. Alina, Angela exclaimed, can you wear something or cover up at least? Alina giggled more. She likes to mess with Angela. What do you have in mind that I should wear, sister? She asked. I don't care. Anything. Angela sometimes gets exasperated when Alina does this. Alina was her total opposite. She had round blue eyes. If Wonder Woman and Angelina Jolie had a baby, it would be her, Alina. When she walks, she gets the look. She's every comic book nerd's dream girl. Angela got dressed up and got her badge and tucked in her 9mm in her holster. She checked her cell phone and saw that she has a text from her partner Maurice to go to this apartment complex in Tropicana. She felt goosebumps in her arms when Maurice mentioned the address. She has been in that address several times. It was a chance meeting with Nemia, a young Filipino woman who migrated here in the land of opportunity, courtesy of her husband Dusty. Nemia didn't find much opportunity here. Her husband Dusty would constantly abuse her physically and verbally. She would go to work with bruises all over her, but Dusty was smart enough not to touch her face. After all, Nemia was Dusty's cash cow. He was a typical abuser. Be horrible, then be nice. A co-worker at the hotel where Nemia worked couldn't take it anymore, seeing the abuse on the poor woman, that she called Angela to check on her friend. Angela and Maurice went to see Nemia at the hotel during her lunch break. Immediately, Angela knew that this woman was being abused. She noticed the bruises on the ankles. Angela and Maurice talked to Nemia, who looked so nervous when she found out they were cops. Angela, in her sweet voice, talked to Nemia. Hi, my name is Angela. I'm a detective. You are not in trouble. We just want to talk to you. Your friends are concerned about you. That's why they called us. Nemia nervously responded, No, there's nothing wrong. I'm okay. Maurice asked, Are you sure? You look like you are hurting. Nemia said, No, I'm okay. Angela added, I know you think you are okay. We are here to help you, but you gotta let us know what's going on. Maurice butted in. I'm going to be direct. I know someone is hurting you, and pretty sure it's your husband. This is not new for us. Angela warned, We just don't want this to get any worse. Nemi responded that nothing has happened. She's just clumsy and is always bumping into things. My husband loves me, she says. She pleaded for Angela and Maurice to leave her. Angela relented and gave Nemia her card and told her, If you need anything at all, don't hesitate to call me. Angela placed her hand on Nemia's shoulder and left hesitantly. Maurice told Angela, "We'll see her again. You tried your best." Police has been called to this address a few times. Neighbors has been complaining about the noise, and every time Nemia declines to press charges, they always warn Dusty. Dusty was a huge guy, an ex-boxer. He doesn't get intimidated by cops. He just glares at them. This time, it was different. Dusty has been yelling and smacking Nemia the whole day. He has been threatening to hurt her bad. Dusty was saying, "Smacking your stupid ass was hard work. I'm just going to take a little break, and after that, I'm going to be breaking your legs. You want to leave me, huh? Let me see if you can do that if you can't walk." He said that menacingly as he sips his beer. "Bitch," he mumbled. Nemia picked herself up from the floor and made a mad dash to the bedroom, locking the door behind her nervously as she scans the room looking for nothing. She does not know what to do. She is terrified beyond belief. All this time, Dusty was making nasty remarks about what he is going to do to her. "Bitch, if you think you're hurting right now, just wait till I'm finished here." Still drinking beer, then liquor, then beer, continuously making threats till he passed out. Nemia was in a delirium of fear. She was past sanity now. Dusty was woken up by a loud bang at his door. Uniformed officers barged in, followed by EMT. Still in a drunken stupor, surprised by all these, he got up and took a swing at one of the cops. It took everyone to calm him down and cuff him. As soon as he is cuffed, the police tried to break in the bedroom door. You see, a few minutes ago, one of the neighbors, the Snoopy one, the one with the habit of looking at open windows, she was doing her chores in her own apartment when she happened to glance at Nemia's bedroom window. She could not believe it at first. She thought that someone was flying in the room. She took a second glance, this time with more intent. What she saw scared the living daylights out of her. She got her phone and quickly dialed 911. The EMT finally got through the door, and with cops dragging Dusty to his feet, everyone was shocked at what they were seeing. Dusty mumbled, "Damn, bitch." Hanging and spinning from the ceiling fan was the lifeless body of Nemia. She did look like she was flying. She was all blue and purple. Her eyes were wide open, and her blue tongue was sticking out. The EMT got her down from the fan and tried to revive her, but it was too late. She was beyond that. Forensics was there when Angela arrived. She passed at the unrepentant and smiling Dusty. She glared menacing at him as their eyes met. Angela saw Nemia. Her face was covered with a coroner sheet. She just stared at her, wanting to blame her. She was wanting to tell her, "I told you so." Her thoughts was interrupted by the coroner. "Detective, we found her clutching this on her hand." It was Angela's card. "Sorry, detective." The coroner apologized. Angela walked with a threatening purpose toward Dusty, but she heard Alina. "Calm down, sis. Control your feelings. Take a deep breath. His time will come soon. Just let me take care of it." Maurice saw Angela. "We're going to take him for booking." Forensics said it looked like Nemia committed suicide, but she had bruises. "Maybe we can get him on battery and abuse." Angela was not pleased with hearing that. All she thought about was Nemia. She knew Dusty drove her to suicide. The next day, Angela again woke before her alarm clock. It was still a little dark. She turns on her lamp and saw Alina sitting on the recliner without a shred of clothing. "Next time I open my eyes, you better be wearing something," Angela told her. Angela did her usual routine. She went to the firing range. She put on her cap and ear protectors and carefully aimed at the target at 25 feet. All head and center mass. Alina then asked, "Sis, can I practice too?" She was too nagging, and Angela gave in. She added a black face mask. With the other gear she had on, no one would be able to recognize her. She placed another silhouette on the target and moved it back to 100 feet. "A challenge?" Alina whispered. Angela fired one round and it was able to hit the head right in the middle. She handed control to Alina. Alina smiled and aimed. With all 15 shot, she placed a smiley face and a pair of nipples on the chest and she giggled. Angela thought, what a show off. The guys at the target range was amazed. Angela, back at the station, as she got out of the elevator, Maurice brought her some bad news. Have you heard? They let Dusty out last night. Forensics said the bruises were old and no witnesses to say he scared her enough to kill herself. The DA can't prove shit, so the judge dropped it. Angela was seething with anger. She was about to say something when Alina interrupted her. Don't say anything. We know what he did. I saw it. Let me take care of Dusty for you. All Angela could think of was Nemi and her family from where she's from. There will be another pair of kids hungry in the PI. A loud booming voice was heard. Maurice, Angela, to my office. Captain Reuben was a big dude. He was an Afghan and Kuwaiti war vet. His bald head was shining underneath the fluorescent light. There's a shooting at the motel on Paradise. 9 dead. Japanese and Jamaican tourists. Need you there yesterday. Go, he ordered. And Angela, focus. I know how you feel about a suicide. I need your best out there. Angela nodded sheepishly. Yes, boss. The partners arrived at the motel. It was newly renovated. It stood out in this seedy neighborhood. The mayor's trying to build up this neighborhood. Getting rid of the homeless and the old and derelict shops and buildings is like a priority. Las Vegas realty is gold out here. Forensic was already busy on room 222. It was like the prime suite. The victims were scattered all over the room. I mean, literally, they were scattered in the room. Whoever did this was pretty good with sharp blades. Blood and guts was all over. You have to mind where you step. You might accidentally squish an eyeball before forensics could collect. Angela studied the room. The victims were dressed in their $1,000 suits. Gucci and Tom Ford could not protect you from swords. One victim, with his chest sliced wide open, skin was dangling out. Angela noticed the distinct tattoos. Yakuza, Alina shared with Angela. The Jamaicans lost their heads. It looked like it was done post mortem. After they were stabbed and their throats were slit. Then heads was placed on the table for display and covered with towels, now red with blood. It looked like it was meant to be a gruesome surprise. The Yardies' bodies was in the bathtub. Alina had her vision. It was like she was looking at what was happening through the killer's eyes. She saw it from the dark corner of the room. The door opened and the Jamaicans came in with their guns drawn, turned on the lights, and scanned the room and thought it was empty. The third Yardie came in with a bag, also holding a pistol lazily in his other hand, and closed the door. The other two went to the bathroom, guns aimed straight and ready to shoot. Both entered. One was behind, and the one leading was pointing his gun and pulled the shower curtains, making that scratching metal sound. As the curtain made that sound, the killer came out of his hiding and had already stabbed the bag handler through the head and pinned it to the wall. It looked like he was still standing, and he didn't even drop the gun as his body was still having spasms. The killer immediately went for the Diardi by the door. Alina saw a very sharp dagger went through the back of the neck, quickly cutting the cervical spine, and then the dagger went flying and struck the Yardi near the shower between the eyes and went through his skull. It was so sudden, I doubt if this man's brain had any time to register what was going on. The killer then tidied up the room and again waited. The door opened, but this time it was the Japanese. They didn't have guns. As soon as the door closed, they pulled out their daggers. Then the killer let the star knives fly. All six hit their target. The killer attacked with one swift motion of his katana. It cut through the skull, sending one of the eyeballs flying. The other men started attacking, but the killer was too quick. He sliced one guy through the chest and cutting his heart, and blood squirted from his aorta. He dropped pale and white. He slashed the neck of one, almost chopping the head as it was only held by the skin of his chubby chin. One tried to block the katana with his dagger, but the katana was forged better and was sharper. The katana went through the dagger and sliced the arm clean off. The killer then, with a reverse, slashed through the stomach, sending blood, bile, and shit across the room. The last Japanese barely put up a fight as the katana sliced him from his shoulder, angling to his right hip. And just like that, it was over. The killer picked up the Japanese and the Jamaican's bags and left the room. The attack was so quiet, none of the guests and staff heard anything. Alina, still looking through the killer's eyes, and was hoping to see how the killer looked. All she saw was, as the killer was changing, was a red nail pedicure. The expert killer was a woman, and then Alina's vision ended. Her visions can only hold for a moment. The thought of a killer being a woman made her smile. Maurice said it looked like a drug deal gone wrong. There was a third party in the room, replied Angela. Have Eunice check all the CCTV cameras up to 3 blocks from here and check the trash cans for any discarded bags. The bags will be bloody. This kind of killer will not be walking around with a dirty bag. Back at the LVPD, Captain Reuben was very agitated as Angela and Maurice entered the room. Do you have any idea what my morning has been? My wife's dog chewed my shoes and she insulted me that if it wasn't so smelly, Rocky would have left it alone. And then I got a call from the mayor, chewing my ass over what's going on in paradise. I want you to drop anything you both are working on. This is priority. I want to report every morning. I want results, as Captain Reuben yelled. It has been a few days, not much result from the Japanese murders. The bags were found near the crime scene, no prints, DNA was just Japanese and Jamaican. Captain Reuben has less stress as the mayor started to call him less. Angela knew that they should be looking for a woman. She didn't tell Maurice. Maurice was wondering why they are checking nail salons at Chinatown. Angela was checking into a particular shade of red that might be exclusive to a salon. No dice. If you made it this far, thank you. Feel free to write comments as this channel is new. It will help me provide and improve a better video for the next episode. Thank you for watching this remastered episode. I cut it down to 2 parts so it will be shorter. Part 2 of episode 1 will follow soon. And again, thank you.